All right, so first semester. First semester was a lot. Hey, hello, my name is JoJo and welcome back to my channel. Or if you're new here, welcome. So obviously, as you can tell, I am in a new environment, a new atmosphere, a new location. So I am back home for the holidays. I'm currently in my old bedroom in my parents' house. And because I no longer live here, the walls are a little bare because all of my decorations are gone. I tried to do something. I had this diamond painting that I put up on the wall so that it didn't look like I was just sitting in front of a blank white wall. Tried to give it a little something. So apologies for the blank slate behind me. Yeah, I am here to do my little first semester. I guess I'll call it like a recap, kind of. So my semester actually ended like a few days ago. And I originally intended to film this before I left to come home for the holidays. But I really just I needed a break. I just needed to just sleep for a couple of days. And I actually ended up driving home. I didn't fly. I drove all the way from Jersey to Florida by myself. I did the drive down here without anyone in my family knowing. No, I didn't tell anyone I was driving. They all thought I was flying. So yeah, that was a little adventure. And once I got here, I needed a couple of extra days to just do nothing. Oh, also, I don't know if it's showing up on camera or if it's as noticeable as I think it is, but the whole right side of my cheek is swollen. I went to the dentist yesterday to get my cleaning and they had to do a little bit of a work, so I'm in a little bit of pain, but I'm okay. All right, so first semester. First semester was a lot. It was exciting, it was stressful, it was exhausting, it was everything I thought it was gonna be and a bunch of things I didn't think it was gonna be. But overall, I liked it. Big question mark after that. No, I mean, I really did overall enjoy my first semester, but it was a lot. I think it was just so many things were happening and starting all at once. It was starting classes, starting to see clients when I really have no real background of what being a therapist is like. Also simultaneously learning all of the administrative things that go into seeing clients and being forced to think about my future constantly when I personally don't well, I used to be that person, but now personally, I don't like trying to plan my life too far ahead because it causes me a lot of anxiety. But because of my program, I'm being forced to think about 3, 4, 5 years down the line, what I intend to be doing. And I'm I don't freaking know. I'm just trying to get through the end of the week. While also, again, at the same time, trying to keep doing research and get my thesis done, which my thesis is not done. It is nowhere near being done. Not gonna lie. Research, my thesis, took a big old seat on the bench this semester. Was not my intention, but just with everything else happening, research kind of fell to the bottom of my priority list this semester, which I'm prioritizing next semester. Like, will not be the case next semester. I am for sure prioritizing my thesis next semester and like making sure that I get it done. Both for my own sanity, I want it to be done. I've been working on my thesis for like almost, wow. I've been working on my thesis for almost 2 years now. So I am ready to be done with it. I want to get it done. And also my lab director would also like to see me get it done this semester and have something like publishable written up by the end of the summer. So prioritizing research next semester is a big thing, but this semester was not the case. But other than that, yeah, I guess I'll just give a few like quick recaps and updates on a couple of aspects of my program and what I'm doing. And yeah, so first thing is psychodynamic therapy. So I mentioned this, I think, in like a few videos, but in my program, you start off your first semester learning and practicing psychodynamic therapy with clients. Psychodynamic therapy is basically just like I'm about to give a really bad definition, but essentially in like the simplest terms I can think to describe it, psychodynamic therapy is like your traditional talk therapy where you go see a counselor or therapist and you just talk and they talk back to you. It's very non-directive, so it's not like the therapist is telling you you have to do X, Y, and Z in order to feel X, Y, and Z, or you have to do homework, or like there's none of that. It's very much just like a back and forth conversation between therapist and client, and helping the client acknowledge like ways in which these patterns are affecting their lives, in ways in which they could improve internally that will then ease the impact that these patterns have. I hope that made sense. But basically that's what I've been doing all semester with my 2 clients that I have. And I both really love and really hate psychodynamic therapy. And I think that is because I am just so used to people coming to me for advice, just like in friendships growing up, like my whole life. Like as a friend, you go to your friends for advice. What do I do? Like you're used to giving people advice. Like when someone comes to you with a problem and they ask, what do I do? You say, I would do X, Y, Z. I think that's what you should do. And it has been extremely hard for me to refrain from doing that in these therapy sessions with my clients, especially when they outwardly ask me, what would you suggest? Or what would you do? Or can you give me advice? And I have to literally like weasel my way out of that without straight up like ignoring their question. And that's very hard for me. But I think also more than ever now, it's helped me realize and like understand that like sometimes not giving advice is just as, if not more, helpful. So now like even in like my personal life, like I refrain from giving advice to people. Like that's not even my thing anymore. Like my friends may come to me with a situation and be like, I don't know what to do, girl. And I'm like, me neither. Let's talk about it. I'd be like, me neither, let's talk about it. And then like through talking to them, they'll be like, you know what, I think I'm gonna do, you know, this. And I'll be like, good. So yeah, it's fun. It's gotten more like enjoyable for me over the semester. Like when I first started, like in my first couple of sessions with my clients, I was like, oh my God, I am like useless. Like I don't know what I'm doing. They know I don't know what I'm doing. I'm not helping them. they're gonna stop coming. But no, they still came. So far, both of my clients have come to every single session, and I'm so grateful. But at this point, I am about halfway through my sessions with both of my psychodynamic clients. I don't know if I mentioned this, but in my program in the training clinic that we're seeing our clients through, we only have 20 sessions with each client. So I'm about halfway through each of my clients' 20 sessions with them. And so yeah, I really like working with my clients. I have really liked working with them, and I'm excited to keep working with them for the rest of our sessions together. But on that note, now that my psychodynamic therapy class is over, in the spring, I will be starting a CBT class. And CBT is cognitive behavioral therapy. Being someone who has experienced CBT before, CBT is a type of therapy that is much more directive. It's still talk therapy, but like you talk with very specific goals in mind, and like you work towards those goals, and you assign homework. I hate that word, but you like assign homework, and yeah, and I feel like now being someone who's like psychodynamic therapy, yeah, I'm like, I don't know if I can do CBT because I have to now transition back into this role of telling someone what to do or like making suggestions, but maybe I'll figure it out. You know what? No, I will figure it out. I know I'll figure it out. But yeah, that's happening. And in the spring, while taking CBT, will be getting a CBT client. So that client in particular will strictly be receiving strictly cognitive behavioral therapy. So that should be interesting. So I think I mentioned this, I had a PM Plus client this semester that was part of my mini externship. PM Plus is a much shorter term intervention. I only saw my client for 5 sessions, not including our pre and post assessment sessions. And PM Plus is an intervention where every session has a particular focus, and in those sessions you are focused on that thing. And then like in the next session you like review the thing, but then you focus on the thing for that session, and like so on and so forth for the 5 sessions. And I think trying to do that while simultaneously like trying to do like very psychodynamically oriented therapy with my training clinic clients was very difficult for me, in that I kind of had to like learn to turn off that part of me when I was with my PM Plus client. But it was very hard because I could tell my PM Plus client really wanted to talk about like what was like going on in their lives, and I had to find this balance of like, okay, we can talk about it a little bit, but like if we talk about it too much, then I'm gonna end up completely derailing this session. We're not gonna talk about what we actually are supposed to be talking about. And so that was really hard for me. But in general, PM Plus is an intervention that I'm really supportive of. And so I'm hoping to continue doing it next semester. Yeah, I guess the next thing are like my other classes that I haven't really spoken about. So I mentioned at some point that I had a testing volunteer for my diagnostic testing class. That went great. I loved that class. I love the professor for that class. He's so funny. I have to take diagnostic testing 2 in the spring. Unfortunately, I didn't wake up early enough on registration day to get the same professor that I had this semester, so I'll be with a different professor for that next semester. But I've heard great things about him, so hoping that it works out. But yeah, diagnostic testing, love the class. This semester I learned 3 assessments, the WACE for the MMPI-2-RF and the NEO-PI-3. The WACE is, I think I mentioned this at some point, the WACE is an intelligence test, and the MMPI and NEO are both personality tests. And next semester in testing 2, I will be learning, I think they said the TAT, the PAI, and Rorschach. which I'm very excited to learn Rorschach. Like, if anyone has seen like in like old school, or even like, I don't know, but in any like movie where they include a psychologist, you might see a psychologist like hold up an ink blot and be like, what does this look like? That's the Rorschach. I'm very excited to learn that. Apparently it's very difficult to learn, but it's like a thing. And so very excited for that. But yeah, and then the other class was diagnostic interviewing, which again was like super interesting. It's taught by the same professor who teaches diagnostic testing. But also really enjoyed that class. There was a lot of role playing in that class, which is very intimidating. I personally went the whole semester without volunteering to role play. But the professor, the final for that class is a role play interview with the professor, which we haven't taken the final for that class yet. But we're gonna do it after the 2-week holidays. So little scared for that, but like, again, the professor's super nice, he's super funny. So I know like it won't be as bad as I'm telling myself it's gonna be in my head. But yeah, and I mean, other than that, my only other class was practicum, which isn't really a class per se. It's more so like a space, or it's supposed to be a space where we can talk about our clients and get like feedback and input. And so yeah, it's not really a class, it's just talking about clients. But for practicum, we have like an end of semester evaluation. Per APA standards, we have to like have our skills, like our skills as therapists, evaluated, which is essentially just like on a scale of 1 to 6 on like a giant list of skills, where like 1 is like absolute trash and 6 is like professional level, like independent private practice type ability. And each year we're expected to be at a minimum number on that scale. And so my evaluation went really well. My director had individual meetings with everyone about their evaluations, but in my evaluation she like showered me with compliments, which I'm sure like wasn't individual to me. Like, I'm sure she showered everybody with compliments because I feel like we're all amazing. But like, she had like nothing bad to say about me, and that was weird for me. Like, I wanted her to say something bad. Like, even at the end of the evaluation, she was like, do you have any questions for me? And I was like, tell me something bad. Like, there has to be something bad that I have to improve on. And she was like, your confidence. And I was like, touche. So yeah, that was my evaluation. And also, like, outside of the program, our clinical consultants also evaluate us. That was also like rave reviews across the board. I absolutely adore my clinical consultant. So hilarious, so down to earth, so helpful. Like, I have literally nothing but good things to say about my clinical consultant. So yeah, that's pretty much it for my end of semester update. I am really looking forward to spring semester. I'm looking forward to getting my 3rd client. I am looking forward to continuing working with my 2 clients that I already have. But most of all, I am very excited to do absolutely nothing for these next couple of weeks. So with that being said, thank you for watching, especially if you made it all the way to the end. I truly appreciate it. Happy holidays if you're watching this before Christmas and New Year's, or whatever you celebrate. If you're watching this afterwards, I hope you had an amazing holiday season. Hopefully you got even a little bit of a break. But yeah, happy holidays. Leave me a comment down below if you have any questions or suggestions for future videos. As always, like, comment, subscribe, and click that little notification button so you don't miss my next upload. And I will see you in my next one.